You know what? You know what, guys? Let's once again start right off with that music from that old Christian music that I've been listening to or showing you guys. And we'll go right on to that beach scene thing and play a little bit of music and chit-chat, small talk. Let you know what I'll be touching on today, as well as your calls, if you like. This song that's coming right up, you can put it on now or anytime, because it's actually going to start off really quiet for the first, 30 seconds anyway. There it is. This is... How do you pronounce the word from that city name in Scotland? Glasgow? 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 I think it's a cool name. Glasgow. It's by... You probably started it before I even told you, huh? This is by the Out Circuit, which is I don't know if they're a Christian band, but they're kind of a spring off, if you've ever heard of Frodis. Those of you guys who are roughly my age, give or take 10 years, and you listened to, it's pronounced Glasgow, or Glasgow. He just spelled it the same thing. Glasgow. If you're familiar with Frodis, that old, I don't know what you call them, post-punk, sort of a Christian band, then Sugar Rose. Is that how you pronounce it? Sigur Rós? I pronounce it Sugar Rose, but Sigur Rós? Get a job. The music kills. As in good or as in bad? Yeah, Frodis, I loved Frodis. And I like the feel of the music. This guy's vocals isn't the best, but it's nice. And I like the, whatever this bell thing is going. And the drums, it's nice. I don't know what he's singing about, but it's kind of moody. It has a nice atmosphere to it. Sigur Rós. I used to listen to Christian punk because I was a punk and a Christian, but not the punk rock kind of punk, just a regular punk. So guys, I will be taking your calls. Some of you guys are already calling in. It's 888-775-3773. That's the call-in number. Some terrible news about a man who was beheaded over near Paris, France. There's an update on the girl, the tattletale, who got this man in trouble with the Muslims. She lied, in short. I'm going to detail that story. There's a so-called Christian woman. Yeah, I'll let you know when to fade. It's going to be pretty soon, actually. There's a so-called Christian woman who's abandoning the Southern Baptist Church named Beth Moore. And I don't think that she would come on the Jesse Lee Peterson show back when I was producer. I had invited her multiple times. I think. I'd invited her once for sure. I may have even received a reply directly from her, or at least she's pretty big, somebody that she knows. And more mess about, more mess about women's history. Crazy, guys. Crazy. Oh, this is my favorite part. Oh yeah, this is my favorite part. I forgot this part was even in the song. This is so long. It's stoner music. No, it's not stoner music. Is Skip still talking about, don't talk about acid. This is a Christian show. But yeah, this is, it's just nice music. How can you deny it? Did you ever listen to Christian music growing up, Joel?
Not really. I was into the secular stuff, but I I would try to force myself into churches to do like the songs that Jesse Ellis plays.
Right.
But no, I never knew about these people that you've been playing.
Yeah. Yeah, I grew up on Christian music. And then I tried to get my own stuff because my siblings listen to a lot of Christian music.
Nice.
And they're older siblings, so they listen to like Amy Grant. My mother listened to Chuck Girard. My siblings and family listened to this guy who got in a Jeep accident, who came up with that song, Our God is an Awesome God.
Oh, wow.
He's actually was a creative guy. So this is like, I don't even know if this is Christian anymore because people started straying away from what Christian music, because what Christians music can't be Christian, it can't get saved. So I
liked some of these songs. To be honest, if you wouldn't have told me that they were Christian songs, they still sound decent.
Right.
You know, maybe because they were made back then and composed now, but they're decent songs.
Well, there is a lot of cringy Christian music that I enjoyed and listened to a lot. Yeah, Rich Mullins is the guy. Our God is an awesome God. Anyway, I used to make mix CDs. Oh yeah, this is where he starts screaming. And people are like, this is Christian? Maybe not.
Don't Christians scream?
Yeah, they do. They're emotional. Not a Human says, hey, James, play my latest song, Jesus Is. It's on my channel, if you will. Thank you for the request. R. Kelly is has a Christian album that's pretty good. The boomers may not like this music. Probably, I wonder if most people even like this music. Torture music, says Mahmoud. Just drama. It's drama. It's kind of wallowing in misery. It's the same thing, honestly. It's no different from the worldly music, I don't think.
Yeah, right. But the Christian music now is not even, emotional enough to where you enjoy it. It's corny, and the music itself is corny.
Right.
So it's like, at least these songs had a little vibe to them.
Yeah, true. Okay, guys. We got through that whole song. It's a long song. I didn't intend to get through the whole thing, but then it had that dramatic part. Did we freeze? Or just the video ran out? The video ran out. Okay, guys. Anyway, very beautiful to me. And yet, it's kind of broken, so it's kind of degenerate, honestly. But let's get on with the show.
1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, it's the Hake Report. The Hake Report. La, la, la. Oh, it's the Hake Report. The Hake Report. La, la, la.
Hey, guys!
Oh, it's the Hake Report. The Hake Report. La, la, la. Oh, it's the Hake Report. The Hake Report. La, la, la.
So, how are you all doing? I am fine. I want to touch... Oh, my gosh. I am monetized again on DLive too. What? Oh, gracious Chinese DLive owners, or whatever you are. Thank you so much. I shall kiss your feet. Thank you to JLP hosting DLive. I guess you've been hosting me all this time. It's just that I quit opening DLive because they didn't let me get the diamonds and lemons and ice cream and ninjaginis and ninjets. What a mess. But right on. I can accept DLive chats as well as Trovo chats, super chats, and of course, Streamlabs. And by the way, Hawk Computer Smell gave a super chat on streamlabs.com/The Hake Report and said, Hake, have you considered reapplying for monetization on your YouTube account recently? I think you may have mentioned reapplying last year, but I don't recall there being a follow-up on progress. I forget whether I reapplied. Yeah, I remember talking about it and thinking about it. And we were thinking about it for, is my X tag on? That's a good question. Let me make sure. It's called family friendly right now. I better call it X tag or mature audience only. What do I do? I think mature audience only, right? You think that's okay? Thank you for the heads up on that, Asmodor. Am I on TikTok? No, I am not on. Oh, you know what? I started a TikTok account, but that's just so I could follow JLP and I just started one, but I don't use it. I have not used it. Well, I think I should do mature audiences only. I noticed that JLP is mature audiences only because we are very mature. Says Meave. Yeah, true. I mean, I do try to be family friendly, but the stuff that I talk about sometimes and the callers and it's totally, in my opinion, friendly towards children. But I know that they don't like you talking about politics, right? That's what I've heard. X tag if it has anything to do with Christianity, Hake. Man, hot computer smell. Are you serious? If I turn on X tag, will it turn off? I'll turn on X tag. Mature audiences only. Mature audiences? I'll leave it at mature until you guys, if you guys more X tag for edgier content. It's pretty edgy, it is, honestly. I'll turn it on to X tag. But thank you guys for the support and the heads ups. PG-13 Hake, says Brandon Johnson. All right. Fabrietz gave a diamond and said, Hake and JLP back monetized on D-Live. Amazing. Shaggy Boy with a diamond and a diamond in the diamond. Thank you. We'll see if you're still able to give support even with the X tag thing turned on. I don't know. We're talking about D-Live. D-Live is a platform, just for the boomers' sake, kind of like YouTube or Facebook or whatever, on which one can stream. Except if you're Alex Jones, you're banned. For no reason. Other than being successful and not liberal enough. Or radical evil enough. Women's History Month. It's Women's History Month, right? Which nobody, if you're a normal person, you have no clue about it. But Apple, Google, Wikipedia, and all of these people are forcing it down your throat saying, it's Women's History Month, trying to create this imaginary culture. Normal people have a culture that they'll celebrate Christmas, or if they're of the culture that does not celebrate Christmas, fine. Or they'll celebrate Easter, or some may call it Resurrection Sunday, right? They try to change it to that because Easter has become more secularized, right? But Easter just meant when Jesus rose from the dead. That's what it meant to me as a kid, and that's what it meant to the Christians who were celebrating it back when spring break was called Easter vacation. They went from Easter vacation to spring break. And then spring break is known for what? Total degeneracy among the young people at beaches, disregarding the COVID shutdown orders, which that part I'm fine with. But the degeneracy, it's just a shame. Shame, utter shamelessness, sex and drinking and probably drugs and mess. What are you guys hitting ones and twos for? And Easter vacation always took place either in the week leading up to Easter Sunday or the week leading after Easter Sunday. And no, it didn't have to do with Ishtar. It had to do with Jesus. But now they're pushing this imaginary Women's History Month and International Women's Day. So this group that's called, what do they call themselves? The Women's Hall of Fame or something like that? Women's, what is this? I think I wrote it down. Michelle Obama inducted into the National Women's Hall of Fame, which apparently they only support evil and ego, which is counterproductive to being a happy woman. You're happy doing what you're naturally for, not for being the first black female engineer at NASA, not for being a woman's soccer star, not for being the evil first black first lady, so-called. And I say so-called not because I don't think she's a woman. I do think she's a woman. I'm talking about Michelle Obama. She's not very ladylike. Disgusting. Disgusting is her support for pushing the education thing, pushing the jobs thing. And women are more unhappy today than ever. Did you know that? The mental health issues faced by men and women, really. And mental health, really spiritual health. Right? Spiritually dead people. On the decline majorly. She was called Much Loved. Class of 2021. She started her Let's Move program to end childhood obesity, the Reach Higher initiative for students looking for jobs, joining forces with current First Lady Dr. Jill Biden. And doctor just means she got a so-called doctorate, I think, to kiss up to military people for the vote, right? And veterans. Oh, by the way, this other woman, India-born Indra Nooyi. I have some pictures of these people, I think. Yeah, Indra Nooyi Davos. There she is in Davos. She's a 65-year-old woman, born in India, married mother of a couple of daughters or something. She was what is she? PepsiCo's first female CEO, chief executive officer. And she's third in the far left Forbes. Forbes is far left. Forbes magazine, it's supposed to be financial. World's Powerful Moms list. She's third on the World's Powerful Moms list. Cringe, am I right? Michelle Obama, in 2018, released her first memoir, Becoming. And the audio version of her book, Becoming, the audiobook, it got a Grammy Award. Man, talk about affirmative action for the first best spoken word album. Talk about kiss-ups. I don't know how she even no wonder she doesn't like anybody. I mean, I don't know. I'm assuming that she doesn't like anybody. Because do you really believe that they really believe that she deserves a Grammy for the best spoken word album, which is just her audiobook about the book called Becoming? And she has this podcast, the Michelle Obama podcast, that she launched in July. With friends and family, she talks to friends and family about how relationships shape who they are. Okay, so I'll be fine if I change back to mature on D Live. Mature audiences only. I'm going to switch it back to mature and hope for the best. Okay, thank you. Oh, he already changed it. Shout out to Bubs Love, looking out. Helping me out, man. By the way, Bubs Love sent me a crazy article. A report about this person. It's reported in the Daily Mail. It's ridiculous. Breonna Taylor's boyfriend, Kenneth Walker, you know, the guy who shot at the cops. He pretends he doesn't know. He didn't know. I guess how are you going to prove that he knew or didn't know? Does it matter? If you shoot a cop and you say, I didn't know he was a cop. Has charges dismissed. To me, I think that is politics. You know, I told you guys about the Rodney King riots, that the officers were not charged, and that's why the blacks and Hispanics, many Hispanics, rioted and looted, taking advantage, right? In the LA riots in 1990, what was it, 2, 3, 4, something like that? I remember being a kid, and during those days, it would be late afternoon, evening. It feels like it was approaching summer. It was maybe in April or May. And there would be smoke in my backyard when I was growing up as a kid, right? My parents' backyard. In Temple City, California, like 15 miles, 20 miles outside of Koreatown, where most of Koreatown is just right over there. Just a couple of miles over there from where I'm sitting right now. Over there, I'm pointing east. And then where I was living, it was another 15, 20 miles east. And we would look out in the backyard. We had a nice yard that we would play soccer and football in. And it would be filled with smoke. during the LA riots. Crazy. That's how much smoke came up with the burning and rioting and looting. Terrible. But they were not charged by the local jury. Maybe it was a mostly white, I don't know. Who cares? Honestly, I mean, they're more fair-minded, really. They're not into the race thing for the most part. Or at least they weren't back then. Nowadays, they'll probably kiss up to the blacks more. Jurors are less fair-minded today than ever, probably. But afterward, the feds brought charges and convicted 2 cops in the Rodney King beating. Somebody told me in the comments after I mentioned this story. Yeah, the feds. And to me, that's politics. That's not a just charge. Those are not just charges, I don't believe. It was politics. And they got sentenced to something like 30 months in jail or prison, something like that, something along those lines. And one of the men, to this day, I think he's still living, maintains his innocence.
To this day.
Defends his actions, defends the actions of the officers. And if you read Jesse Lee Peterson's books, I think The Antidote, Healing America from the Poison of Hate, Blame, and Victimhood, does mention Rodney King in the situation. Maybe some of the others do too. Maybe Scam, or maybe The Antidote. I mean, maybe From Rage to Responsibility. Scam, How the Black Leadership Exploits Black America. But I believe From Rage to Responsibility, but I'm almost sure that The Antidote, Healing America from the Poison of Hate, Blame, and Victimhood, details the big picture of what actually happened with what this guy was doing. And by the way, JLP interviewed him back in like 2012 or something, just months, I think, probably before he was found drowned in a pool, in his own swimming pool, I think. Just a mess of a life, an out of control person, not unlike Georgia, Florida. So another woman, a black female engineer, Katherine Johnson, who died in February 2020 at the age of 101. I remember this woman getting some like Medal of Freedom or something like that from Barack Obama for being the first black female engineer for NASA. Something along those lines. I wonder if there was a movie about 3 black women who worked for NASA. I wonder if she was one of the actresses portrayed her. Anyway, oh yeah. Thank you, Joelle. It always surprises me sometimes. Yikes. Yeah, close and personal. Anyway, Mia Hamm. I remember Mia Hamm. She was all promoted. You know, it was just kissing up to the women stuff. Such a shame. Before I get to this story about the French schoolgirls, really a Muslim schoolgirl, who falsely accused a teacher of exercising his free speech a little too freely as a white man, as a Frenchman, let me get to some calls. And he was beheaded, by the way. I covered the story before. Yeah, Hidden Figures. Yes, how computers smell. You know. I can't believe I watched that and Selma in the theater. I probably watched it for quote-unquote research. Because I can't imagine wanting to watch those movies. Joel didn't watch Selma. I watched it with JLP. He and I watched Selma. Joel watched Get Out, though. And he's so innocent, he liked it. He didn't realize that it was kind of anti-white propaganda in his fallen state. But I've never even caught the notion that even in his fallen state, Joel caught the hate white people thing, really. Anyway, he still likes it. Let me get to Israel. A first-time caller from Houston, Texas. Israel, am I pronouncing it correctly, your name?
Yeah.
Nice. Nice to hear from you.
Thanks. Got a question.
Yeah.
Aside from the Great White Hope, have you heard anyone that's a government official or an election official say that the election was stolen?
Yeah.
Who?
But I wouldn't say the words stolen, but I would say that, what's that guy's name? Rand Paul. He said, and I quote, and I disavow this quote, YouTube. He said the fraud happened. And how do we move forward and prevent it? So
he said you quoted him as saying the fraud happened.
Yep.
Okay.
And so
like
Israel,
said, that wasn't my question.
Hold on, let me explain more. This has been
Who said
an
it was
issue.
stolen?
This has
Who
been
said it was?
Hold on. This has been an issue for decades.
What has been an issue?
Election integrity.
Okay, I'm talking
There have
about
been
the
poll
election was stolen.
watchers. We've been talking about it for many decades. I'm not going to talk with you about stolen or not stolen on air because
No, that's not the point. I'm asking that for a reason. Has anyone ever said that it was stolen aside from Trump? That's an election official or a government official.
stolen, the word stolen,
Yes.
I don't know.
Well, there hasn't been anyone publicly that's a government official or an election official that said that.
You've been that interested that you've watched that closely that you know that no official has said that?
You don't know of one either.
Right, but you've made the assertion that no one has said it and you don't know. You haven't been paying that much attention, have you?
I didn't say I don't know. I do know that. I've been waiting to hear anyone else say it, and no one else has said that.
Did you know that people said that there were problems? Did you know that Rand Paul said what I said that he said?
Yeah, but he didn't.
You
say it
knew
was
that Rand
stolen.
Paul said what I said that he said.
I don't know if you got that quote right, but that's not.
Oh,
the
you
point.
don't. So you don't know. You haven't been paying that close of attention.
Yeah, but
Because
I'm
that
not
was
perfect.
actually pretty big news that Rand Paul said that.
Okay, then they should also have pointed out that no one else has said it was stolen, and it just strikes me
But
as
people
odd.
don't. People aren't honest in the government on the whole.
But the Great White Hope is
Yes.
right, and okay.
I'm
See,
glad that
it's
you
almost
agree
like-
that he is the Great White Hope. That's cool.
Yeah, because every Great White Hope in history has been a loser,
Oh yeah.
and he fits right in. I agree with you.
Oh yeah.
He is the
Name
next
one. Name one Great White Hope who has been a loser.
Listen, all of them.
Name
And
one.
Especially, the one that fought
Name
against
two.
Jack Johnson, the boxer against Jack Johnson, the Great White Hope.
The box. You can't even name the guy. Jack Johnson was the black guy, right?
I know, the one who fought Jack Johnson. Yeah.
You can't name him.
Who was? Yeah, because Trump is the next Great White Hope.
Okay.
He
Wow,
fits
you're a
right in
hater.
with that.
Why do you hate Trump?
No, I'm laughing at it. But listen,
Laughing at him is hate. I haven't heard you laugh, honestly.
you've been laughing. You're right, but you've been laughing a lot.
Right.
Now listen, what do you think about Melania plagiarizing Michelle Obama's speech?
I don't think anything about it. Who cares?
But you say so much about Michelle as if she is second rate or less, and just completely ignore and neglect the comparison between her and Melania.
Melania is an honest
plagiarized
woman.
her speech.
If there is an honest
She
woman,
plagiarized her speech.
and
That's
you're
not
interested in the intellect, I'm interested in the character of the woman.
Right. And the dishonesty of stealing another person's speech. That is not honest.
That's
you
not.
can't turn that
No,
one around.
look at the honesty of Melania Trump, who stood by her man, stayed decent, didn't push this feminist stuff so much. She wanted people to be decent with each other online.
What's her profession? What does she do
She's
for
a woman.
career?
She's a wife.
That's her career?
She doesn't need a career.
But what was her career?
She was a model,
What type of model?
a fashion model.
Really? Have you ever seen her on a fashion magazine or a runway? You have not.
I've seen her in a fashion magazine, of course.
Show me a picture of Melania Trump when she was a model in a magazine or a runway and see why she called herself a model.
To this day, she's still a model.
Okay, so you show me one fashion photo of her on a runway or on a cover
I don't know.
of a
I'm
magazine,
not into fashion.
no less.
I'm not into fashion.
So you don't even know. You're just talking the talking points that you've been fed by people who don't know.
I'm not so shallow that I'm into the careers of females.
Well, you're talking a whole lot about Michelle.
Michelle, I don't talk about Michelle's career. I talk about the mess that she pushed.
Oh,
she was an evil, nasty woman.
She tried to get kids to eat healthy.
No.
Because there was,
she should start with herself.
Why? She's not a kid.
I know. That's all the more reason to eat healthy.
And she's fine as all outdoors, so you can keep your comments like that to yourself. And if you have any masculinity in you see it too.
I'll put Melania Trump over Michelle Obama in terms of looks any day, and any honest man would.
because we saw her nude.
No, it's not because we saw her nude. You're bringing up dirty things because you're a dirty man.
No, I'm not.
You are.
And the worst part about it.
No, because to this day, Melania Trump is a beautiful woman. To this day.
That's your opinion. I think
it's not opinion. That's fact. That is fact.
Do you know that? So you don't. Oh, you're just trying to argue.
No, you're trying to argue. You're saying that it's just a matter of opinion that Melania Trump is beautiful. It's objectively true.
Derek, that's the epitome of an opinion about how beautiful a woman is.
No, beauty is not a matter of opinion.
Beauty is in the eye of the beholder.
No, that's communist feminist stuff. Don't fall for that.
Wow, you've gone far down that track. But I know you're not that far. I know you're just playing an act, but you should just acknowledge the truth.
You don't know me.
I'm telling you what you're doing in this conversation.
No, you don't.
Acknowledge the truth. No, I don't what? See, you don't even know what you're talking about. You're just talking. And you are incorrect on so many things, and you just
not true. Not true.
And continue to go.
Not true. You think that Trump is a loser.
Trump lost the election.
You're the loser.
You want me to say you're a loser back at you?
If you want.
Yeah, that's what you want. And you really, the reason why I'm making you understand these things is because you have such a large platform.
You think you're spreading understanding?
I'll tell you what I'm doing if you let me talk.
What do you think you're doing by trying to undermine the president and his wife and prop up and worship Michelle Obama? What are you spreading?
What I'm trying to tell you to do, acknowledging the truth.
But you don't believe in truth.
All the corruption in the Trump administration,
all his
cabinet members and campaign officials.
Where did you stand on the corruption of the Obama administration?
Anytime it happens, it's wrong. In Obama, it happens so much fewer times.
Not true.
That it's not even in the same universe.
Not true.
And then for you to keep on.
You're in denial.
I said
you just don't like Obama because he's black and liberal.
No, and because he's intelligent. And
intelligent is not what Obama is.
And he's got a righteous life.
Oh, gosh.
Like Trump was married.
He was anything but righteous.
Divorced? How many times was Trump divorced?
Many times.
Do you even know?
I think 3.
Do you know why he was divorced? For committing adultery?
Yeah.
Did you know that?
Yes.
Okay, so where's your Christian morality measure?
In the present. In the present. In reality. Trump stands for the family today. He's a man today. Obama supports illegal aliens, same-sex marriage, fake black victimhood, socialism, undermining America, undermining whites and cops. He was all about lying. He lied coming in, and he lied leaving. And to this day, he's lying. To this day. And that's what you like about him. And you hate Trump because Trump stood on the truth.
Right. Okay.
How did you feel about Trump condemning the NFL SOBs?
I think that was unpatriotic of him, because people should have the right to do what they want to do in America.
No, they're the ones who are unpatriotic. How blind are you that you think Trump is not patriotic? He is the most patriotic man in America.
He criticized people for exercising their First Amendment rights.
False. That's not true.
Is it a First Amendment right for a person to kneel during the anthem?
Nope. That's not the issue. Nope.
Is it true or not?
No, it's not true.
Is it true? It's not that right? Then why didn't they get arrested?
Because you don't arrest people for violating people and disrespecting the country on NFL time. They were working for the NFL. Right. Were they not working for the NFL or the team?
So then why didn't they get fired?
Because of cowardice. Because of kiss-up cowardice. That's why you hate white people. Because whites are kiss-up cowards.
Well, let me ask you a better question. What was the reason why they were kneeling? Why did Colin Kaepernick kneel in the first place?
Because he hates white people and he fell for a lie.
You just are talking to yourself. You fell for a lie. He said explicitly that he's bringing attention to the police brutality that's happening in the country.
No, he said, I'm not going to stand up and show respect for a country and a flag that oppresses black people and people of color, and cops are murdering people and getting paid leave. He smeared the cops. He smeared the country based on utter lies.
And I say mission accomplished, because now there is a lot of spotlight on that problem.
That's not light. That's darkness. It's
called a camera
utter
fall.
diversion and delusion.
It's deception. It's a literal flash. It's a literal flash on their phone. It's light, and it's shining light. People
it's deception.
It and putting it on social. It's video, Jake. You can't say it's deception. You look at it. It is
deception. Video doesn't tell you anything. To a blind person can watch a video that exonerates a man, and they think that it makes him guilty.
A blind person cannot watch a video. Stop.
You're spiritually blind. You're spiritually blind. Watching a video, if you're spiritually blind and you're a female-minded thinker, you're going to overreact to a video and think that you're seeing something that you're not seeing. I talked to a dumb liberal.
All I'm saying is that
I talked to a dumb liberal named, I'm putting him on hold, John Fugelsang. I said to him that there's no proof at this point that Derek Chauvin murdered anybody. Murdered, right? That's the word that he used, which means with malice aforethought usually, right? And he said, I watched him murder a man on video, referring to George Floyd, Derek Chauvin being the guy who they're selecting the jury right now. He put the knee on the neck of George Floyd. There's no evidence that that's what killed him, but that's what people are assuming. And spiritually blind people watch videos and overreact to it when they don't know what they're looking at. And so that's what I'm referring to, Israel. You can watch a video and not know what you're looking at. The layperson can watch a man work doing man's job and overreact to it when it's just ordinary police work.
You know, black people have been complaining about police brutality for a long time, and white supremacists and white people have been saying it. And white people have been saying that it wasn't happening.
It's not
like we claim.
It's
but
not.
Now that we have video, we have social media and smartphones, people are starting to see that it is actually happening.
It's not happening
to white people.
That's another lie. You're utterly lying, and you're ignorant.
I am not. You keep on calling me names as if that's going to make you
because
right.
Are you aware, Israel, that
everything I'm telling you, you know it's true?
No, it's not true. People on social media are more emotional, depressed, overreactive, brainwashed to believe in racism than ever before. So, of course, they're going to fall for lies like what you're spouting. Did you know that twice as many white people are dying, so-called, at the hands of police than blacks? But you don't see it on the media because it's not promoted by the media because the media likes to push the lie of racism. What a sucker. What?
The white killings are more times than not a shootout.
No, you don't know what you're talking about. Even when you compare, Israel, even when you compare unarmed, it's not out of proportion. Are you aware that black crime is out of control?
But do you see what you do?
Are you aware that black crime is out of control?
I said that Colin Kaepernick's trying to spotlight on it, and now we're talking about the details of it.
Yeah, because
First of
the
all,
details,
mission accomplished.
the
We're talking about it
details
right
show
now.
the details show that he's lying. He's
Well, it
shining a
doesn't- it doesn't-
deception.
Whatever, but we're talking about it, and we weren't talking
That's
about
not
it
a positive
20
thing
years
because you
ago
guys are
like we are
blind.
now.
You
No,
guys are
'cause
blind, and he's
we don't
misleading.
like it disturbs me when I see a black man getting killed by the police when he's not armed.
What?
The George
What did you say?
Floyd video, it's disturbing. to
Disturbing?
see.
That's because you're a
Disturbing.
female-minded male. You don't
No, it's
have
because
logic.
I'm a human with. I can imagine how a person's knee on my neck for over 8 minutes would feel. I
And
can imagine what they was. Well, that's why it's disturbing.
is it
because
disturbing
I
to
could
be
imagine.
is it disturbing to be overdosing while that's happening, and to have asked to be put on the ground? Did you know that he asked to be put on the ground?
Yeah. No matter what.
No. Did you
It's
know that he
disturbing.
asked Israel? Did you know
Yeah, I know
that?
that. I know that.
You
Yeah.
knew that he asked to be put on the
didn't-
ground and that
But
he
we're
had
talking about the knee on
overdose
the neck.
levels of fentanyl in
But
his
the
system.
knee- okay, but where do you have responsibility for the knee on the neck?
That's how some of the police are trained. He was doing that. Maybe he shouldn't have done that. I don't know. But to call that murder, it's ridiculous. And to claim that that's what killed him when you don't actually
do you
know what you're
call it?
talking about, it's ridiculous.
If it's not murder, what do you call it?
Maybe manslaughter, if that, but I kind of doubt it. I think he was overdosing already.
Involuntary
A normal,
manslaughter?
healthy man would not have resisted arrest
Did
and
you
would
know
not
that
have gotten
Chauvin-
himself in that situation.
Did you know that Chauvin knew him? They worked.
I
at
don't
the
know if
same
he knew
club?
him or not.
They worked at the same club.
The point is, you
And-
don't know what you're talking about.
I do know that they worked at the same club.
No, but you don't know what you're talking about. The whole
You don't
reason
even know what I'm talking
the
about.
whole reason that you know about this story is because it was a white cop and a black man, and they just assumed that it was racist.
And there was a smartphone there. And
Yeah,
we
the
have social
smartphone.
media. Finish the story. It wasn't just because he was white and George Floyd
Yeah,
was
the
black.
smartphone, because a whole bunch
also
of
because
blind people
a
like to
person
push.
videotaped it, because if they didn't have that on recording, then Chauvin would have walked away like he did. When he got up of George Floyd, he walked to his vehicle as if
As
it
he
was just
probably
another
should
regular
have.
day.
A whole
and
lot
he'd
of
still be
blind
walking-
people, Israel,
And he would
a lot
still
of
be walking like.
a whole lot of blind people use it for propaganda. Propaganda, and you fell for it, Israel.
You talk about blind. Look, earlier you said that the Rodney King cops that were acquitted was acquitted by an all-white jury, and then you said, who cares?
Right.
You see,
Is that even true that it was all white?
That's what you said.
Is it? I was saying, oh, it might have been all white. I don't know for a fact.
It was all white, but you said, who cares?
Because
And-
you know
and
why,
that
Israel?
mentality-
Because white people tend to be more fair-minded. Blacks get into the blackness way too much, just like you.
Look, I'm black and you're white.
Yeah.
And in this conversation, when you listen back, you'll hear that I'm the one that's fair-minded, and
Okay.
you're the one who are not, and keep calling me names. I haven't called you one name, and there are plenty of names I can give you, because I can guarantee you.
But you have a
cannot
fake.
compare to me as a man.
You're kind of like Obama. You're a phony. You
in
have a
every
phony
category-
classiness.
In every category that qualifies a man, I beat you.
Okay. All right, buddy. All right. Well, I appreciate it, Israel.
No,
Why
you
do you
don't,
listen
but
to my
bye.
show? Why do you listen to my show?
Because I just told you, I want you to stop spreading this foolish way of thinking.
What is the foolish way of thinking
yeah.
I'm spreading?
I mean, so many. It's so many. I don't know where to begin. But just your comments about women, your comments about black people, your delusion about white people, and then you have all these listeners, and they're hearing you say that, and then they are being influenced by what you say. I heard one show.
But why
it
be
wasn't yours, it was actually-
mama about it? People can think for themselves. They're smarter than you.
I feel like I have a duty. How can I just let you just continue to do that?
So you're kind of
And
like a Joe from Phoenix. Is that
I am who I am.
Yeah.
I'm not like anybody.
right? You think
And
that you're
and so you
debunking.
start- What?
You think that you're debunking me, the stuff that I'm saying.
I know that I'm debunking you, but I don't talk to you all the time. But in
Right.
this conversation, you listen back, you'll hear that, wow, this guy is fair-minded. And then you'll hear you
How
are
old are
not
you?
fair-minded. I'm 47.
Nice.
Right.
So you have a wife and kids and all that stuff?
Mm-hmm.
Nice.
Yeah, like I said, in every category, I got it.
Are you
I'm
a
a man.
conservative or a liberal?
I am a fiscal conservative,
Oh man.
but I vote and think about politics in a true way, and I look at the person. I tremendously admire Barack Obama, and ironically, I was a fan of Donald Trump before I came to know his. I think what he did, because this is not the real Trump, but Trump seems to be kowtowing to this white supremacist structure, because he's not. I didn't think he was a racist ever, but now he's pretending. He's pretending to go along because that's where the numbers are at.
Was it 2016 or 2017 or when did you stop being a fan of Trump?
I think, but maybe about 2 years into his presidency.
So you voted for him?
No, I
Hillary?
didn't vote in that election because I didn't vote in that election because I didn't want to vote for either one of them.
But wasn't it so refreshing how genuine he was? He was like a man among boys with those rhinos. He made Ted Cruz look weak.
Ted, that's not hard to do. But he also, but now he's he's transformed into this racist white supremacist.
You're blind, man. That's blindness.
That's what happened to me right before my eyes.
And are you a Christian?
And now he's desperate to stay out of jail, so now he's going double down on that. That's
conspiracy theorist stuff, man. I would be shocked. I will apologize to you if he goes to jail, because I'm mocking you for even believing that.
I doubt it, but I know that he's got.
Thank you. I doubt that there's even any risk. I doubt that's even remotely in his mind.
Yeah.
The notion of going to jail, man.
I think he's always been.
Why are you called Israel? Are you an Israelite? Why are you called Israel?
My parents named me that, but Dad wanted a Bible name.
Okay. So you're a Christian?
Yes.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Well, I appreciate. I actually enjoyed talking with you. We'll talk more.
I appreciate it. Goodbye.
All right. Take care. How long was I on with him? Sometimes I get carried away with these black collars. But that's all right. Blacks are entertaining. Even what could be considered the boring intellectual ones. You know, because he's an intellectual. But I appreciate the call, Israel. Calling names. What does it say? Calling names you think that makes a man look weak. Yeah, exactly. Do right. It doesn't make a man look weak, calling names. It's just people are like, finally, hang up. We're glad that's over. Yeah. All right. Man. Okay, before I get back to callers, this is terrible. I got to share this with you. French schoolgirls' accusations. This is from The Blaze. I have this headline for you. French schoolgirls' accusations got her teacher beheaded, and it sparked violent riots. Now she admits she made it all up. That's according to The Blaze. And this is a picture of Samuel Paty. Samuel Paty. Je suis. Samuel Paty. No, he's a French. I'm kind of mocking the je suis thing because that's French for I am, right? I am Charlie Hebdo or whatever. And it says, what does that say? Do you know any French? No, me neither. It says, je crie ton nom or something.
Say his name.
Oh, does it say his name? Yeah, you might be right.
No, it might be name.
Yeah, no, it might be name.
Can't be for sure, though.
That's terrible. Union, the something. I mean, I kind of respect the French president or prime minister. I write your name, says Nick. Nicolas. Did you know that he is part French Canadian? I made that up. He can be anything. Samuel Paty, history teacher in West Paris, or maybe outside. I think it was maybe a suburb. Was beheaded. They cut his head off. A guy. A 18-year-old Chechen Muslim beheaded him last October. A refugee, actually, went down to Paris from, I think, out of the country or wherever this is, asked the kids, hey, point out that teacher to me. And then he followed him, stalked him, and cut his head off right in the street. That's sick. He posted a picture of it. It's terrible. And this was after controversy because he got word of this viral story, right? Controversy erupted over his alleged so-called anti-Muslim cartoon presentation. He was showing, according to this story, we were all told that he was showing Charlie Hebdo cartoons. And for some reason, nobody debunked it. I mean, I don't know if it's true or not. During a lesson on free speech, right? And the French president or prime minister, less than 2% of the French population identify as Christian or Catholic, says FL Josh. Wow, is that true? So this guy was teaching, what, 8th graders, junior high school? I don't know if they call it junior high. The 13-year-old student whose identity has been protected, female, reportedly told her father that Paty showed degrading images of the Muslim prophet Muhammad in class. After learning of Paty's alleged behavior, the student's father filed a legal complaint. This is why you need free speech, and you need to not be letting in these people. They don't believe in free speech. They don't believe in America or France or Europe. They believe in taking over and pushing, being the squeaky wheel, and not for what's right. Legal complaint, and launched an internet campaign against the teacher, slamming Paty in a Facebook and YouTube video uploads, claiming the teacher showed cartoons of Muhammad with his genitals exposed. Really? I kind of doubt that. But I don't know. Regardless, it's not worth cutting the guy's head off over, right? It should go without saying. The campaign set off a firestorm in the Muslim world, fomenting widespread anger towards Paty, who was murdered a mere 10 days after the accusations were made. In addition to resulting in Paty's murder, the accusations also sparked violent riots across the country that led to the deaths of at least 3 others, according to The Blaze. Lying. The girl now has reportedly confessed to police that she lied. The girl's lawyer is Mbeko Tabula. Nice French name there, right? I'm kidding. I'm being sarcastic. Confirmed on Monday that her client was not even in attendance in the class during which she alleged the incident took place. Yeah, I mean, she claimed, I was staying home because I didn't want to look at this. Supposedly, he told the class, you don't have to come here if this offends you. You don't have to come to class or whatever. But he may not have even shown the stuff in question. She lied because she felt trapped in a spiral because her classmates had asked her to be a spokesperson. Tabula further told the AFP news agency, which is a French outlet, far-left French outlet, AFP. You'll see stuff from AFP reporting on American news. It's ridiculous. I mean, American media is ridiculous, too. So-called American. It's really anti-American. According to the French newspaper Le Parisien, I'm butchering the name probably, the girl lied to her father to keep him from knowing that she had been suspended by the school for cutting class. She would not have dared to confess to her father the real reasons for her exclusion shortly before the tragedy, which in fact linked her to her bad behavior. The newspaper reported. What else? According to BBC, far-left British outlet, BBC, anti-British, really, right? Shortly after Paty's murder, prosecutors alleged that there was a direct causal link between the online hate campaign against the teacher and his eventual murder. I believe that. This guy wouldn't have done it. This guy wouldn't have gone after that man. Now the 13-year-old has been charged with slander, and her father with being complicit. Her father should be charged with slander, honestly. Complicit in a terrorist killing, The Independent reports. I don't know how you're going to charge that. Though Tabula argues the girl should be protected and her father blamed for excessive and disproportionate behavior. Dang. The perpetrator, Anzarov. And he was just a young, fit 18-year-old boy. Muslim boy. Young man, young male, tracked down by police and shot dead as he attempted to flee the scene. The French government characterized the incident as an Islamic terrorist attack. Just another girl making a mess. But men are not men anymore. The father, pathetic. The Muslims in the country? Not necessary. And the girl? Kind of typical. What a shame. Let me quickly get to Zach in Columbus, Ohio. He's on the line. What's up, Zach? How are you?
What's up, James? Can you hear me good?
I can hear you well, but it is coming in a little quiet, a little bit far away.
What about now?
Same thing. Nope. Are you on regular phone?
Yeah.
Okay. Stay close to your phone and speak up loud and clear.
Can you hear me better now?
Nope. I'll put you on hold, Zach. Hang on, man. We'll check on you. Coming in kind of quiet, right? Wasn't he coming in quiet? Yeah. Craig in Illinois, how are you doing?
Hey, good morning, Hake. How you doing, sir?
Doing well. How are you? It's good to hear from you.
Good to hear from you too, sir. I wanted to comment about that last caller she was talking to.
Yeah, Israel from, I think, Houston, Texas?
Yeah. Before I start this off, I know that you don't have any hatred in your heart. You're a great guy, and these callers that come in and on your show and they attack you for no reason and all that stuff is just not so cool at all.
Well, I appreciate it. It's fine. He's actually as he pointed out, he was trying to keep it classy. He tried to keep it classy, to his credit.
Yeah, well, you'll get those typical social justice warriors calling the show and want to try to correct you and all that stuff. But,
yeah.
Looking at this autopsy report of George Floyd, he had over 11 milligrams of fentanyl in his system. Okay, and as he laid on the ground, okay, because this guy mentioned there were camera phones out there.
Yeah.
Okay? Yeah, cops had their cameras on too during the time of that incident, and if that videotape was released on time, none of all this rioting would have happened, or people getting murdered.
Yeah,
or getting
maybe not.
What happened, okay?
Yeah.
All right, and he had his knee on the shoulder blade, not on his neck, in a prone position, okay? All
okay.
Right? These guys do not read or follow up on things, and then they let their emotions get into them. That's the problem.
Yeah.
Now I hear him saying everything about white supremacy and all that stuff, but yet you got going on in the urban communities is these black-on-black crimes, okay? No one's talking about that, okay?
Yeah, stay close to your phone, Craig. It's coming in. Oh, it's trailing off a little.
Okay, can you hear me now?
I think that's better. Just speak up loud and clear and stay close.
Yes, I'm just saying, none of these guys mentioned about the black-on-black crime that's going on in the urban communities.
Why is it so
they
quiet?
want to start talking about some stuff about what's going on with white supremacy. I get so tired of hearing that all the time.
Yeah. Yeah, it's ridiculous. It's shameful to hear a 47-year-old man believe the white supremacy lies. So silly.
I mean, it's crazy. And then they defunded the police in our state here. Okay, about a week ago, the government signed a a crime bill, that defunded the police. You know how dangerous that is to people that the law-abiding citizens, also to the police, because they're afraid to do their job.
Yeah.
And then you got more blacks carjacking out here. Okay.
Yeah, I believe
people
it.
Can have nice cars and everything, and people want to go out there and carjack people, man.
There's carjackings taking place here too. There was one report I saw last night from not far from where we are now.
Like, it's embarrassing to me, man.
Yeah.
I mean, I see this and I'm like, man, how do you explain this? Like, so you won't have people think that you just like these other blacks that's out here that's misbehaving. But he didn't talk about that. That stuff on the phone, though. But he's talking about white supremacy. I get so tired of them talking about this stuff where you need to start where it goes, what happened in the home. It starts at home first.
Yeah.
I never had no problems with Caucasian people. I love y'all. I ain't got no problems with y'all.
Yeah.
It's just it's our own people, blacks. They act stupid. They curse. They got so ghetto all the time. I mean, what the hell?
Yeah.
But it's embarrassing, man.
I know. It's like they don't want to look at the reality of what's going on and it's so out of control. I don't know if you saw Nick's compilation from Heather McDonald's report of the crime that's going on from the black community, so-called community, and, it's out of control.
Right. It's right. The percentage on black crime, the homicides is up.
Yeah.
But they want the police defunded, and they got what they wanted. So they just getting played by these Democrats.
Yeah.
They are getting played, and they're not doing their damn research.
Yeah.
You know, it pisses me off, man.
Yeah.
You know, we're going back into the 60s, man. It was nothing like this. Like Jesse said, I believe him because that's why I brought his books to do my research about what's going on, man. But I get so tired of it, man, and I'm like, man, you should be able to say what you want to say because anybody that attack you, you have the right to defend yourself, Hake. It's not right. So it's okay for blacks to call your show and talk stuff to you, but you can't defend yourself?
I know.
Stand up. I'm glad you're doing that so that way that you show that you ain't backing down to nobody. This is America. You have your freedom of speech.
Yeah.
Just like they do, but they be up there bullying, man. I don't like that. You know?
Yeah. It's shameful. It is. Yep.
But thank you for accepting my call, man. I appreciate you, man.
Yeah, it's good to hear from you, Craig. Appreciate it, too.
Right.
Take care.
Bye-bye.
All right. Yeah, keep it cool, guys, because evil is going to be evil. I'm going to get to Zach right after this break. Let's just play a little bit of like John Parfit or also known as Bright Lights music here. And I will talk about this Beth Moore woman as well. Zach, thanks for calling and fixing your phone, man. I will get to you in a couple of minutes here. Hang tight, all of you, for the rest of hour 2. Detroit Up in Flames loves this music. I see you, man. That's John Parfit. That's Bright Lights? Gone is the name of the song. Shout out. Thank you guys for the support. I will be checking the Streamlabs and Super Chats. Trovo and D Live. I think D Live is working again. Let me get to Zach in Columbus, Ohio. Back to Zach. His phone was a little quiet, but I think we have it working better right now. What's up, Zach?
What's up, James?
Hey, good to hear from you.
How am I doing?
Sounds great. Thank you.
I think Maze probably hacked into my phone and is making it an Obama phone.
Say that again?
I said I think Maze is probably getting into my phone and making it an Obama phone.
Yeah, I think so.
Or Earl maybe too.
Those two are brilliant hackers. Little known fact.
They are.
Yep.
Well, I want to to talk to you about this Women's Hall of Fame inductee with Michelle Obama and all this. I found out that this Women's Hall of Fame was found by some feminists in like the 1800s that like
really?
moved in the civil rights movement for women only.
Yeah.
And I realized that why are women proud to go into a Women's Hall of Fame?
Yeah.
I think that's why women are failing in America today.
Yeah.
Because they look up to people like Michelle Obama.
Right.
And figures like her, these feminist people. And then Michelle Obama took away all the good food at school. Right.
You were
Nobody
growing
talks
up when
about
that was happening, huh?
I don't know what grade I was in. I think I was in like third grade or something. Just took away all the good food and made it all healthy.
Yeah. Cardboard.
Exactly.
Meanwhile, as JLP says, she's eating up all the ribs.
Yeah, eating up all the ribs, the chicken, everything.
You don't want to get between Michelle and a tamale, is what Obama said, and probably got in trouble. Joel says, that was Michelle? I was ticked. It was Michelle.
In the chat
in high school,
they're calling me a Jesse Lee Peterson parrot.
Well, don't mind. Parrot away, man, because you just got to live your life and speak as you see it. Who cares?
You're right.
If it's true, then you'll see it as it comes.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. And I'm speaking the truth, so
right.
That's all that matters.
That's true. Yeah, people call me that too, and they say that I'm trying to imitate Jesse. And there are times where I think, okay, yeah, but it's like not really intentional. I don't know how to do James because I'm trying to be entertaining, and I don't know how to do Rush because I don't hang around Rush, or Sean Hannity, or Bill O'Reilly. So I just do whatever, and I'll come into my own as time goes on.
Yeah, right. And you're doing good right now, James. So that's all that matters.
Nice.
I didn't know what a Ritalin baby was, but I looked it up.
Uh-huh.
And I didn't know she was calling me a meth head.
Oh, yeah, because Ritalin is basically meth, huh?
Yes.
Yeah.
And I didn't know that she was basically calling me a meth head. So we haven't heard them on the show in a while. I think they're scared of me.
Oh, they're scared? Yeah, probably so. You know what? Somebody has been messaging me or commenting saying, James, you should ask Earl if he's going to have somebody contact us if, God forbid, something were to happen and he weren't able to call in anymore. We would be in the dark as to what happened with him. Something similar happened when we stopped hearing from Mel in Atlanta, Georgia. Well, we were streaming on a major channel over there, radio station in Atlanta, Georgia, and we would hear from this angry black caller named Mel. Highly entertaining, but just bitter, angry, full of hatred. And
so that must have been at the beginning of the show.
Yeah, it was in the early 2010s, 2013, 2014. Yeah.
My goodness.
Yeah.
Are you guys doing internships still?
I believe so. You can contact us if you are interested.
Yeah, because I might be going to college in California, so I was like,
nice.
And I'm doing stuff like engineering for like technical stuff. So I'll be able. I looked at the internship and I'll be able to do all that stuff. So I was like, if I go to college in California, I was like, I might as well fill out an internship for the Jesse Lee Peterson show.
Yeah, of course.
But yeah, I will definitely. Are you the one who like runs the interns and all that?
Not always. This depends. What part of what we're doing that you would be helping out in. It could be me. It could be others of us. I'm not sure. Yeah, but just send in a one pager with what your capabilities are, how you think you might be able to help, and why you want to help, and things along those lines. Just send in an email as you can. Follow up with a phone call, and make it happen.
All right,
See what we can do.
And I'll let you get to your other callers, James. I know there's probably some good ones on the line.
Okay. Appreciate it, Zach. Good to hear from you.
Yep.
Take care. Peter from Periscope gave a diamond and said, diamonds are back. By the way, before I get to hang on Bobby in Texas, he has a response for Israel. I have other responses for Israel, man. If you're listening, Israel still. King Alpha Nerd on streamlabs.com/the Hake Report gave a few super chats and said, Israel, you think Obama is more Christian than Trump? ? That mail opened Pandora's box to the rainbow community. And he's using the term community very loosely. And I know that, and I'm interrupting his super chat to say, I know that you're a fiscal conservative, but I don't think that you would agree with the LGBT radicalism if you knew what it was about. But maybe you don't care. Forced it down children's throats, King Alpha Nerd goes on, referring to what Obama did with the gay agenda. Forced it down children's throats, promoted abortion, 90 going north, and Kaepernick was told to do that. He doesn't care about blacks. Boy, bye, says King Alpha Nerd. Nice. He also said, why are people so emotional over George Floyd? Tony Timpa, a white George Floyd, if you will, happened a year earlier or so, had the same treatment, and those cops were not charged either till this day. Y'all need to stop.
Excellence.
Y'all need to stop acting like blacks are the only victims to police using excessive force. Get over it. Yeah. Very true, King Alpha Nerd. Yeah, Tony Timpa. And I'm not for Tony Timpa being a victim either. He was living an out-of-control life, and sometimes you make a mistake that's deadly to you, and sometimes your life is spared. You don't know. You don't take those unnecessary chances. Long before we got to deal with the cops getting a little out of control, we need to deal with society at large. We need to return to morality, and probably the cops will fix themselves. You got to deal with the black immorality. Give me a break. But they're encouraged in that misery. And it is misery. And women, too, more miserable than ever. But this kiss up to what makes them more miserable is bad news. King Alpha Nerd gave another super chat and said, Israel is T's brother, confirmed. Interesting theory. I think he's joking. King Alpha Nerd says, let me get this straight. You survived 47 years, talking to Israel, my caller, and remained intellectually dumb? Amazing. That dude was draining. Yeah, a lot of you guys, I remember a lot of people would lose patience with Maze. Over the years, we'd have callers call in and be like, you got to stop taking Maze's calls. Talking to Jesse. All right. Thank you for the support, King Alpha Nerd. Appreciate it. And thank you for the D-Live support and making it happen, guys. Let me get to Bobby in Texas with his response to Israel, the caller, Israel. What's up, Bobby? Are you there? I think you might have me on mute, Bobby. Let me put you back on hold and get to Robert in Kansas wants to talk big government versus small government. And then I will get to a couple of calls want to respond to Israel. What's up, Robert? Thank you for calling.
Hey, Hake. Sorry to be calling so much, man.
Not at all.
Real quick, I want to get to a question Hot Computer Smell had for me last time I called.
Okay.
But real quick, did you hear me call in? I called into Jesse today, and he gives me like 30 seconds, or not even 30 seconds, more like 10 seconds. And then he just hangs up. And it's like, I'm thinking I need to apologize to Jesse. I'm just not sure like exactly what I should say. Do you have any advice on that?
I don't remember your call lasting only 10 seconds. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah. I don't think that you owe him any apology, though. I don't know that you did anything wrong. Yeah.
Okay.
Just check. I mean, just watch yourself, right? Yeah.
I think I did something wrong, man, but I don't know. I guess we'll see. So Hot Computer Smell asked me about like, do I believe in big government? And the answer is yes. And what I mean is that what you got to do is look up the etymology of that word, and it goes pretty deep. But when you break it all down and compare all the definitions, what it really means is, how do we do things around here? Like, that's really all it is. Like, how are things here? How do we do things? Like, when do we do them? Like, that sort of thing.
Yeah.
That's really all it is. So in big government terms, like, if you have a laissez-faire, like, do whatever you want, like the libertarian idea.
Right.
In my mind, what it really goes to is just, you can just do whatever you want, even if it's against, the will, God's will.
Right.
Right. So if it was something like, pornography, for example.
Yeah.
Like, you can just have a whole industry of pornography, and if it makes money, it survives in our libertarian capitalist system. Like, for me, though, being a big government guy, I would shut down things like that and say, no, you can't do things that are against the health, the wellness of the nation. And so, yeah,
I would agree.
guess
I like that.
Yeah, but that's an example of it. So that's what I mean. Like, with big government, the government is just going to be whatever it is. So if you have a Christian type of government,
how big of a government do you think it would take to shut down pornography?
Well, it would take either Muslim. I know Muslim countries don't have pornography, or Christian, actual Christian country.
Yeah.
They would shut down.
Didn't we initially have pornography outlawed?
Yeah, Hake, it used to basically be illegal to be a homosexual in this country, and things were functioning very well. And now, like you see, it's just gone off the rails. As soon as we give these perverts a little bit of, once they convince us, Hake, that a man is equal to a woman, like they teach us in school, well, then why can't two men get married, or two women? Everybody's equal, right?
Yeah.
And then it keeps going, where a man can now transition into a woman because everyone's equal, right? So they build one lie on top of the other, and eventually you get little kids getting their genitals cut off.
Yeah.
And people are like, this is normal, guys. And it's like, no, it's not normal. This is a bunch of perverts.
Right.
And they captured our government now. That's the thing, man. It's really bad, Hake, and we got to turn it around, like Jesse always talks about.
They're killing babies, and they think that we are an advanced society. This is 2021. I can't believe we're talking about the color of Prince Harry's son. Give me a break.
Man, they're making a big deal of that, and Oprah's up there sitting on so much cash she doesn't even know what to do with all her money.
Yeah.
And she's like, oh my God, the racism.
Right.
It's like you people, you got like a queen, like a duchess. I think she's a duchess technically.
Right.
Whatever she is. She's about I'm blacker than Meghan Merkel is. And,
right.
And if you have Oprah with her billions of dollars, like, you can't even spend all her money.
Yeah, it's performance.
And they're talking about the racism of America, or the family who let I don't know how to describe it, man. But they're so on top of society for them to be aghast at some sort of racism when there's people who are going. They could be a white person who doesn't have a lot of means. And they're more of a slave than Oprah could even imagine to the system we're in right now, right? So, man, it's wild stuff. But, yeah, hey, that goes back to Donning Armour. He had a thing about logic and freedom, and he didn't want to be a slave.
Yeah.
And this kind of ties into exactly what I was saying in big government and everything, where, freedom is kind of a word that we like to use, but that could be literally do what thou wilt Satanism, where you are, like you say, killing babies. And they literally have a baby body part market, James. They had literally, this is something that exists in the world, where you have, like, body parts of babies being traded. Anyway, so, like, you can have freedom, but that's the thing is, what does that exactly mean?
Yes.
If you're inside of the logic of God, right, God's word and the truth, we could call it nature. Like, as a pagan, he might call it nature. Nature works the way that it does. You don't have to trust Robert, that Robert's right about this stuff. You can look at nature and see what is true and false. His design will teach you. Yeah. And you'll notice that every union that's masculine and feminine in the world, in nature, when they come together, new life is created.
Right.
So you don't have to trust Robert and Hake that marriage is between a man and a woman. It's witnessed in the design of God or what is nature.
Yeah.
And so a pagan guy like Donning, he might be like, well, we just go by nature. Well, that's God's design too. So
right.
yeah, all Christians, we don't hate nature. We're in this design as well. The point is that you have to follow God's rules, or Mother Nature, or whatever you want to call her. She'll kill you quick, man. Like if you go outside in a blizzard and without proper clothing, you don't drink water, eat right food, you don't do whatever, Mother Nature will kill you dead. Yeah. And so there's a certain boundary of God's order that you have to stay in no matter what. And if you get outside of that, you can go with evil, but then you get what we see today. You get Satan's order as opposed to God's order. Yeah. And that's really the direction that we're going to decide that we're going in, Hake. Are we going to build the kingdom of God, or are we going to build Satan's order, Satan's temple, with the baby-killing perverts and everything that we see before us, the women taking outside of their role, right, outside of their motherly role, which is, the most powerful position that a female can have is the mother, right? And they
for
take
good
them
or
out
evil.
Of their role. Do what now? For good or evil. Well, yeah, man. They don't want anyone in their role. We talk a lot about the men, but it's they don't want anyone in their right role, where the father is over the family and the mother is in her power with all the kids. They want to destroy all that. True. And then the government comes in and can just teach the kids to be little perverts themselves and wear their masks.
It's a shame. I appreciate it, Robert. Fair points in terms of the government's role, man. Well, take care, Robert. I appreciate you, man.
All right. Well, thanks for giving me more than 10 seconds, Hake. You have a good one. Tell Jesse I love him. I'm sorry. And
what are you sorry for, though?
I'm sorry. Maybe I talked about the Jews one time. I don't know what I should be sorry for, Hake.
Well, you're a smart man. I do feel that you're a little off at times. I don't know.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know, but don't take it hard. Don't take it hard.
Okay.
All right.
All right. Hey, yeah. Have a good one, man. And
you too.
What's up to everyone in chat? I'll see y'all. Bye.
Nice. All right. Take care. Wow. Okay. Let me just double check the things. Art in Ohio has a response. I don't think that caller that I was trying to get to and it was not answering, I don't think he got back through. But Art in Ohio had a response for Israel, man. If you're listening, listen to Art. What's up, Art? How are you doing?
Hey, man, I'm all right. How you doing, Hake?
Doing fine, too. Thank you.
Tell my Paul Jesse I said, hey.
Did you say pal or paw?
My Paul. My Paul. P-A-W.
Okay.
I gotta go back to my old mid equator voice or whatnot, that Virginia accent. We ain't specifically from the South, but we in the middle though, you know what I mean?
Okay. Nice.
So check this out. My thing is with Israel, with his little beta brains or whatnot, he make me want to hit him with the Stone Cold Stunner. Because that's, make me want to stun him or something. So long story short, this being funny, because we ain't going to be violent, because we know the libtards can't help themselves.
Yeah.
So just like I was saying, why does he sound like he was trying to call you and make you feel bad for what you were saying when he didn't argue or say any good points to why you should like Obama or Michelle, or why anybody else should like Michelle, let alone
worldly.
He all talking worldly. Let alone he all talking all this good stuff about Obama and stuff like that. Just like the young dude just called in, she messed the food up for the kids or whatnot.
Yeah.
And I ain't saying it was bad or it was good, but come on with all the part-time good stuff. This is like the liberal news. they act like that they trying to show you what's going on with the news. But we all know that they pick and choose what they want to show. You see what I'm saying?
I do. Such
So,
as
my
with the
thing
George
is-
Floyd situation. Just pick and choose. Very selective.
Exactly. It's just like dude was saying about that fentanyl or whatnot. What is he talking about with George Floyd, man? That cop did not kill no dang on George Floyd, man.
Right.
And for all the listeners that don't know nothing about fentanyl or whatnot, but allegedly the stuff is strong as heck. You see what I'm saying?
Kills a bunch of people every year.
Well, no, I heard allegedly. I think I seen on something on one of these little videos on YouTube where they were saying that the stuff is so strong that it was a video I seen where they were saying that a cop was like doing, you know, the little screening to see if the drugs, whatever the drugs was, in a little lab in the police precinct. So one of the cops came back in and said they found him knocked out on the ground from just the smell, being in the room and the smell of it. So
Wow.
strong.
I had not heard that.
So what the heck do you think would happen if George Floyd popped one of them things just before the cop pulled him out the car, which is on camera, the 11 grams of fentanyl?
You know what?
Old cop did. Go ahead.
George Floyd had to be on something just for the fact that he tried to pass that fake $20 bill twice. He tried to pass it once, and he came back 20 minutes later or so and tried to pass that $20 bill in the same store. So he had to be on. Something was off about him from the beginning.
From the beginning.
Yep.
And to this day, I still ain't figured out what in the heck would make. I'm trying to. And I'm gonna make a video. So don't none of you libtards. I know you libtards like to steal. I gotta make a video of a cop just pulling around the corner and telling me to freeze. Cause I'm trying to tell you, at this point in 2020, anytime a cop tells somebody to freeze, y'all need to freeze up like a popsicle, like stiff.
Right.
Just fall flat. Don't put your hands down. Just fall flat on your face, knock a couple teeth out, bruise your eyes up, knock an eyeball socket out. I mean, it's at the point to where don't even say nothing to them. Just pass right out and just let them go ahead and arrest you.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, what else do you want? I mean, y'all, the Negroes don't listen. They act like mama.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? And they lie like they mama. And it ain't just an American thing, because clearly you just said that the lady over there in England or whatever, she got that dude, that teacher killed, lying on him.
Yeah, France. Yeah, terrible.
Just because she didn't want to be accountable and tell her dad that she got suspended from school.
Yeah.
She got somebody killed.
That's terrible.
And that's terrible. But the sad part is, it ain't just going on over there. It's going over in America.
Yep.
But that Israel dude, he don't want to talk about that. He want to keep pushing the liberal, talking about Michelle Obama. But let's talk about Michelle Obama. Because last time I heard, now allegedly, when her and Obama was in office, she was getting a little, going over there talking with the people, the heads of the people, stealing resources from Africa under the guise that her husband was the president. So, yeah. So
I hadn't heard that. I had not heard that.
I heard it was because allegedly they said that her family bloodline comes from a rich family bloodline or whatnot. She ain't in Obama too.
Wow.
And it's a whole bunch of other plus Obamagate.
Yeah.
Third of all, then let's go to the morals. Obama got right in there. If I don't know if it's the first time, but as soon as he got right in there, he started flipping stuff for transgender.
Yep.
So that let me know that was a payoff, just like this CV-19 nonsense that Nancy Pelosi is trying to do with the people who shut down the states. Now they're trying to come around and give all the big people payoffs for shutting down the United States, and they act like we don't see that y'all underhand paying these people to hurt the American small guy.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah. That's what killed me about the Israel dude, man.
Yeah.
So a lot of the stuff that he's sitting here trying to talk that you talking about bad about black people and this and this and this and that. Well, let's just talk about all this. Just like the one dude was saying, I'm getting tired of hearing about all this racist. Why don't y'all talk about good and evil? And
right.
a person doing good or evil. Y'all go ahead. Listen.
That's why I called it shallow when he's talking about the career of Michelle Obama versus the career of Melania Trump. Melania just because she posed naked in a few pictures in the distant past that Trump doesn't even like those. And nobody promotes those except for liberals who hate the Trumps. And Michelle Obama, she's what isn't she a lawyer? That's that's one of the most disgusting things that a person can be in some cases. I mean, for the most part. Yeah, I think she and her husband are both lawyers, aka liars. The liberals.
I wouldn't doubt it.
Yeah.
I wouldn't doubt it. So look, check this out. Your dude, Israel, he gonna try to hit you. He gonna try to say, well, you don't think it's nothing wrong with that Trump had 3 or some wives and them being in and out of marriages? Well, what do you think, fool? If your dad was a millionaire and was rich and you was born into money,
yeah,
heck yeah, you see what I'm saying?
Right.
But see, somebody like Israel, he ain't got a pot to piss in and a window to throw it out. He wouldn't understand nothing about that. You see what I'm saying?
That's so true. Trump has a strong personality and a strong aim for success, and that's those people, those guys. They fall to that temptation because they have the temptation and they're not afraid to go after it. Most guys are too weak to get with all those women. And so then they pretend that they didn't get with those women because they're moral, but that's not why they didn't get with those women, because they just didn't have the opportunity that these guys fell for. And shame on him for having fallen for it, but he is ashamed. He's expressed shame. He doesn't repeat his past anymore. Maybe he's written in the past that he was proud of himself, but I've never heard him brag about that stuff or anything.
Yeah.
At least not in the last 6 years. So
yes, sir.
maybe even 8.
100%.
Yeah. So
jealousy's a mofo, and a lot of this stuff, and it's starting to all come out.
Right.
A lot of this is coming from a lot of these females. America has set everything up to where it's in the female's position. I'm trying to figure out when the dude's going to wake up and understand that if women outnumber men 2-1 and they getting us killed or they setting us up, lying on us, then of course we ain't going to be able to change and get the stuff changed because we don't outnumber them as far as heads and bodies. You see what I'm saying? So it's a numbers thing, and dudes need to wake up. And just like I said a while ago, it ain't just an alpha thing; it's an alpha and a beta thing. If you got something between your dang on legs, then you got something to lose because they basically don't want you to have a say. And even if you do got a beta female that you don't speak up and stand up for yourself, it's the other liberals that got a problem with you and her because they want to eliminate you anyways. The devil don't want no men around, white or black.
Yeah. Not men who are actually standing up for what's right. Appreciate it, Art. Thank you, man.
God bless you, man. Tell Joel, Nick, Chris, and Jesse I catch y'all. We still love Trump. We still with him, man.
Nice. Right on, Art. Take care.
Already. Yes, sir. Yep.
All right. Bobby is back. Bobby in Texas. He's the guy who I was trying to get to earlier with his response to Israel. Bobby, can you hear me this time?
I can. Good morning, buddy.
Good morning. Thanks for calling.
Yeah, sorry about that. I'm at work and had a call come in I had to take.
So I see.
I didn't expect you to get to me either quite so quick.
If that ever happens again, just hang up rather than put me on hold, because if you put me on hold, I'll be like stumbling and it'll
through the dead air.
Yeah.
Right on. Sorry about that.
No worries.
Okay. Well, first, wanted to talk about Israel and Michael Obama.
Gosh.
Oh, my bad. I just dead named her. My bad. Michelle Obama.
Yes.
And you were saying she was so-called, but then you corrected yourself. I'm like, really?
Well, I call her. I do think she's a woman. I think she's a lady. I mean, not a lady, not as in ladylike, because she is
born with
a nasty woman.
You think she was born with lady parts?
Yeah. Yeah, I do.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, if you look at the kids, they look like their parents. The children.
Show me one picture of Michelle pregnant.
I couldn't.
It's impossible. I'll give you $100.
That was back in the day when women had some shame. They didn't want to get pictured pregnant. She's big enough, and I don't want to be rude, but she's never mind. She's big enough without being pregnant. Might as well finish saying it. That she doesn't want to be pictured pregnant. Are you kidding me?
Well, moving on.
Yeah. Moving on.
I don't know. Are you familiar with with this Blue Anon?
No. Oh, yeah. That's where Okay, yes, Blue Anon is the liberal version of QAnon because they believe in the conspiracy theory of racism. Yeah.
Yeah, it's my favorite thing. It lumps them all. It's like if they believe in the Kavanaugh hoax, the Jussie Smollett hoax, they believe that they're going to be storming Capitol Hill to remove all the lawmakers any day now. They also believe Hillary's going to be elected president on March 20th, or she's going to be inaugurated on the 20th.
What? They do?
I'm having a great time with the lefties right now.
Yeah, I mean, believing that racism is real and a problem, and that whites are the primary perpetrators of this imaginary racism thing, when everybody knows that like blacks are the most into their race and antagonistic and hateful towards all the other races, including each other, honestly.
Right, exactly.
Then it's just utter blindness. Yeah, you're right.
It is.
Blue Anon.
It's wild.
That's funny.
It is. It's my favorite thing right now. I'm attacking as hard as I can with that. So, because I've been called a Q-tard so many times for something I don't even know anything about.
I know.
Like,
me too.
I can play this game.
I'm just a regular
I can
Christian.
play this game too.
Yeah, I'm just a regular Christian, conservative, Trump supporter because he tells the truth. And they're like, okay, Q-tard or QAnon.
Yeah.
Get this
like,
QA.
All I know is they don't like pedophiles. So, I mean, yeah, I guess if
that works for me.
It is,
yeah.
Call me a Q-tard.
I'll take a Q conspiracy theorist over a liberal conspiratory theorist, which all they are. Any day. The Q people just have to break people from the lies that they believe. And we all have lies that we fall for.
You see how hard the left is fighting this, the Blue Anon? Like, if you were to Google Blue Anon right now, like, you'll find nothing.
That's
like,
funny.
They completely blocked it off of Google, but if you go to Yahoo and Google it, you can find it. They've even gone so far as to change the definition in the Urban Dictionary.
Wow. But if you're Q, you're racist.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
and white supremacy is the worst thing ever.
Flat Earth.
Right. Yeah, it's awful.
I thought it was pretty funny. I thought I'd let you.
Yeah, thanks for the tip on that, Bobby. Good to hear from you, man.
You too. Have a good one, man.
All right. Take care. I got a super chat from a diamond from Severio_Jones in the D Live chat. Thank you, sir. Let me just give my hat tips to, I tip my hat to Ragnar0321, Fabrietz, if I'm pronouncing it correctly, Brandon M, Cheesehead69, Dark Side of the Bear, What, over there on trovo.live/the Hake Report. And thank you, too, to the people over, so that means that in 15 minutes, we will do the treasure chest after all this time. And we got a decent one right now. That's cool. So 15 minutes, we will open the treasure chest, guys. You got that? Okay, cool. Let me get to Blazing Hawgs in Dayton, Ohio, from the sundown town, the Night Rider. What's up, Blazing Hawgs? How you doing?
Hola, sí, Senor Hake.
Hey.
How we doing?
Doing fine. It's good to hear from you.
Good, yeah. Just something off topic, a little more logical and based. Everybody's got their problems in these sin cities and how the government's going, and now Biden's in charge, how it's all going to Sin City, basically.
Yeah.
It's moving its way to rural America. I mean, my company, they did their LGBTQ training about a month ago, and real men just got up and walked out. Nobody wants part of it.
Oh, really?
Walked out, went back to work.
Oh, good.
So we know it's all coming.
Yeah.
But what is everybody doing? I sent a super chat in today. What is everybody doing trying to get their land or their property, get their own, to get away from all this basically government control where you are in control of your own property and what you say and what you want?
Yeah.
What takes in game? Are you going to live in L.A. forever?
I don't know. I don't have any particular plan at this time.
because you like going to the mountains on the weekends and whatnot, and I'm sure it's peace and quiet up there.
Yep.
And it just takes it away. I've talked to people within chat and stuff. Me and Get a Job was talking about it the other day, and he noticed somebody when they picked him up, for an exchange student or something, and the farther they got away from the city lights and the concrete jungle, the more scared you could see it on their face. It's like quiet.
Yeah.
And I've noticed that with some brothers that I've taken from Dayton and took them out to the country. They're scared. They're like, oh my gosh, it's not a cornfield. I need a gun.
That's funny.
It just like blows their minds, and it's almost like this surreal life that everybody lives in this social atmosphere. Like I got to hear cars honking and street stuff going on.
Yeah.
And when you can just go out to the middle of a cornfield, a hayfield, or a mountain in the woods, and the silent prayer is just so in your face.
Yeah. Interesting point.
I just want to know, are you guys just going to, I know Jesse says stay and fight evil, but, if government gets too far and the cities are just so liberalized and socialized, what are you going to do?
It's a good idea to have both if you can. Have some land that may be outside of the city or whatever. And if you're, you don't necessarily have to radically change your life. A lot of people are doing that. Well, good luck to those people. Right on. Yeah. But
if you still have to work in the city, I can see you driving in and then getting out.
Yeah.
To do your thing.
I just encourage people, as the Bible says, somebody in the Bible wrote that if you were a slave when you were saved, when you were born again, don't let it bother you. If you can get your freedom, do so. If you were whatever, each person should remain in the situation that you were in when you were found by God, or whatever it's called. And I think that's fair. Don't do anything too rash, but if you can, it's good to invest and improve and set yourself up so that you're not left exposed or vulnerable should the lynch mob come for your job or whatever. You know what I mean?
Correct.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or some crazy crisis hits. And I always just imagine if everybody had to evacuate LA, it would take days and days and days, or many people wouldn't even be able to leave because of the traffic. Just the traffic is horrific just on regular days. Imagine everybody trying to leave at once in a panic. People would die. People would just be starve or something. I don't know. It would be a mess.
Yeah, I'm being proactive, me and my wife.
Nice.
We've got our 2-acre spot, our nice house. Both of our families have farms.
That's cool.
That'll all trickle down, as people start passing away and whatnot.
Yeah.
Siblings and everything.
Did you grow up this way, or you just knew to do it?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yeah, I was born in Casper, Wyoming, and raised in Ohio.
Okay. That's cool, man.
Yeah, my mom and dad, they traveled the rodeo. That's how I came about.
Okay. Wow.
From Ohio all the way out west, all the way back.
Nice.
But, so, I don't know. I hear everybody, they kind of get lost in this politics.
Right.
This black and this white.
Yeah.
Blah, blah, blah. And that's entertainment.
Right.
Blacks are entertainment.
Yep.
No doubt.
Yeah.
And you and Jesse, the shows are great. And I love what you guys are doing. But I just feel like some people are getting lost here.
Yes.
And I'm saying, I've been on here 6 years. I've made changes every year to better myself, to be closer to God. And, that silent prayer has done a lot for me.
Yeah.
In those 6 years. And, me and my wife, our kids, our youngest are 13, and they're about, we only got about 5 more years left here. And we should have our property paid off by then.
That's cool.
And, I'm only 42. I'm going to have to work at least another 20 years is what it says for everything. I've been at my company for 23 years, but it's just like we're going to have all this, to stay away from all that Sin City. I'm not going to have to worry about that. We're going to be in charge of our property, our thing, our people. and even our communities around here, the small towns, you can tell when these libtards come in there, they just look so out of place.
Yeah.
Like in my small town on the outskirts of Dayton and stuff. And you can tell them, and they just run back home. They can't handle it out there. It's too quiet. Everybody knows everybody.
That's funny.
They don't like this type of community.
You know,
so, I don't know. I just pray and hope that people that have been listening to your guys' message as long as I have, I hope they've been putting in plans and quit. I'm just, I hear them. I fell again. I can't do it. I can't get out of here.
Right.
I can't do this. It's just driving me nuts a little bit. I'm kind of like, how are people not overcoming after enduring?
Yeah.
It's just like the same old mess. And some people are happy with the same old mess. I just don't, I'm like, whatever. I don't hear it.
Yeah. let them suffer, because many people will not, probably most will not change or overcome. And you just have to let them. And you don't have to worry about them because they're not worried about themselves, or they're just, let
Correct.
the people figure it out themselves. And they don't have to put in plans, just put in work. Just work towards what you're supposed to do. And things will, as JLP says, unfold. But don't do things rashly and in darkness, whether it's quote unquote speaking up or whether it's making life changes. You don't want to do it in a panic or out of fear or just this false inspiration. You want to do it in the light, not in darkness.
And perfect peace really helps you get that done.
Yep.
And that,
Nice.
So that's all I had. I'd love to see Jesse go back to the plantation and build that, get everybody back to work.
Nice.
Good job.
Yeah.
But how I say, some people, they just need a shovel and a hog pen.
Yeah, it may happen. Who knows?
And are people getting their gardens together? Do we know how to grow food? Where's milk come from?
Yeah,
a lot of people don't understand these things, and they're really simple.
Right. Thank you, Blazing Hogs. Good to hear from you.
Take care. Later.
All right, bye. Nick says, where's milk come from? From the supermarket. Duh. Before I get to Rick and Hampton, Tony and Mays, I got to get to this story. I've promised it. This Bible teacher, so-called, according to Religion News Service, I saw this on Twitter, it was being promoted. Good riddance to this lady. Bible teacher Beth Moore, Moore, is splitting with Lifeway, which is something that she maybe even founded, saying, I am no longer a Southern Baptist. She's a famed so-called Bibles and Religion News Service, if you're not familiar, the far left. They're like not Christian, I don't think. But reporting from Nashville, Tennessee, for nearly 3 decades, Religion News Service writes, Beth Moore has been the very model of a Southern Baptist. No. A Southern Baptist does not have a woman at the top teaching people. But anyway, she loves Jesus, the Religion News Service writes credulously. Credulously means gullibly. There's no evidence that she loves Jesus. Where's the evidence? She loves Jesus and the Bible. Oh, she loves the Bible. And has declared her life dedicated her life to teaching others why they need both of them in their lives. Millions of evangelical Christian women have read her Bible studies and flocked to hear her speak at stadium-style events where she delves deeply into biblical passages. She has an outsized influence, and it made some evangelical power brokers uneasy because of their belief only men should be allowed to preach. It's not uneasy. She just doesn't belong up there. It's not uneasy. Nothing uneasy about it. Although some may be uneasy because they're, may lose something or coward kiss-ups or whatever. Moore was above reproach, supporting Southern Baptist teaching that limits the office of the pastor to men alone and cheerleading for the missions of evangelistic works that the denomination holds dear. Anyway, she goes on and on and on. And then this is what some President Tom Rainier said in 2015. She has been a stalwart for the word of God, whatever that means. Never compromising. There she is talking. Never compromising. And then she started criticizing our real President Trump, the 45th president, his abusive behavior towards women, of which there is zero evidence. And her advocacy for so-called sexual abuse victims turned her from a beloved icon into a pariah in the denomination that she loved all her life. She wrote about Trump, "Wake up, sleepers, to what women have dealt with all along in environments of gross entitlement and power." Feminist, this lady, riffing on basically twisting a passage from the New Testament book of Ephesians, right? "Awake, O sleeper, rise up from the grave, and Christ will give you life." And she's saying, "Wake up, O sleepers, to what women have suffered." Because of her opposition to Trump and her outspokenness in confronting imaginary sexism and something good that's called nationalism in the evangelical world, she's been labeled as liberal and woke, and even a heretic. She told Religion News Service in an interview Friday, March 5th, that, quote, "I am no longer a Southern Baptist. Stalwart, strong, sturdy, reliable, courageous." That's what stalwart means. "I can no longer identify with Southern Baptists," she said in a phone interview. "I love Southern Baptist people. So many." She doesn't love Trump. She does not love Trump. She's joining with the women and smearing the president. Kate Bowler is a historian at Duke Divinity School, a female, who has studied evangelical women celebrities. Wow, the things that people get paid to, quote-unquote, study. The academia truly is a world unto itself, right? An imaginary world where people get paid to do things that are not valuable. Her husband, by the way, is a plumber. Mrs. Moore is a deeply trusted voice, this historian says, across the liberal-conservative divide, always been able to communicate a deep faithfulness to her tradition without having to follow Southern Baptists' scramble to make Trump spiritually respectable. Excuse me, I don't have to scramble. Trump is spiritually respectable. Look at his spirit. He handles stuff perfectly. Far better than any of these phony Christian politicians, including the nice Christian-y guys like, who's that guy? Rick Santorum or Mike Huckabee. Kiss-ups. Yeah, I called Mike Huckabee a kiss-up. A phony politician. I think he is. Anyway, the Southern Baptists have lost a powerful champion in a time in which their public witness has already been significantly weakened. She's talking like a Christian, but she's a Duke Divinity School evangelical women celebrities historian, studier. There she is, this woman. She won't come on the Jesse Lee Peterson show. She wrote a study book called A Woman's Heart, God's Dwelling Place. First published in 1995, it was a hit. Part of the subversion, really, of Christians. 2001 to 2016, Living Proof Ministries was her organization. It ran a 6-figure surplus year after year. Crazy. $1 million in 2001 to just under $15 million by April 2016, according to reports to the IRS. So she was a lifelong Southern Baptist, a true lady. She said, "My local church growing up saved my life. So many times my home was my unsafe place." I wonder who she's smearing at her home, her real home, growing up. My church was my safe place. Taught Sunday school, Bible study, then this Lifeway partnership. Deeply entwined with the Southern Baptists. In October 2016, she had the shock of my life, what she called, when she saw the transcripts to the Access Hollywood tapes, where Trump boasted of his sexual exploits with women in 2005, by the way, and he never bragged about it since. He has not bragged about it since. She said this wasn't immorality. This wasn't just immorality. This smacked of sexual assault. And listen to this quote. "He became the banner," meaning Trump, the poster child for the great white hope of evangelicalism. The one true thing that she said, the salvation of the church in America. Nothing could have prepared me for that. So she turned into a Trump derangement syndrome sufferer. What a mess. To the point where she's leaving the church that she felt saved her. What a mess. So good riddance. Good riddance. They shouldn't have let her be so influential anyway. Anyway, I got to get to Rick in Hampton. He's been on hold forever. How are you doing, Rick?
What's up, Brother James? How's it going, my brother?
Going well. How are you?
Man, I'm doing pretty good, man, out here in Hampton, Virginia. It's about 68 degrees with a lot of sun. Beautiful out here in Hampton, VA.
Sounds nice. Right on.
Oh, how the weather out there in L.A.?
It's beautiful as well, although we've been indoors, so the weather inside this studio is hot and humid. It's probably 98 degrees here.
98 degrees?
Even, yeah. Oh, my gosh. It's miserable.
Lord,
even Joel, who was born in the bayou of West Covina.
Oh, Joel he's from Louisiana?
I mean, his ancestry is Louisiana, but he's actually born from not far from where I was born. I was born in West Covina. He was probably born in Rancho Cucamonga. Glendora.
Oh.
Glendora.
And where's that at, James?
It's east of LA. It's in the suburbs. The beautiful suburbs.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Wow. I tell you what, California's a beautiful state, man.
Yeah.
The way, y'all, I mean,
except for the cities.
I know y'all not electing them. If y'all keep electing them Democratic governors, they're going to destroy California, man.
Yeah, it's true. It's a mess. And honestly, even the rhinos that we elect, they're terrible. They only give way to evil.
Man!
Yeah.
I couldn't believe you threw you don't like Mike Huckabee?
Oh, yeah. I mean, I just don't think of him as a strong, manly, just tell the plain truth man. I think of him as being a safe, nice Christian. You know what I mean?
So it kind of reminds you of Bush.
I feel that, well, that's a good question. Is he as bad as Bush? I don't think so. I don't think that he betrayed President Trump the way that Bush did. So, fair point, he may not be as bad as... Maybe I'm being ungracious toward the guy, but I feel that even his daughter is tougher than him. Sarah Sanders.
She's there. Yeah, she ain't no joke.
Yeah.
and
she should be at home with her children, but... what a mess.
Wow, you know how that goes. You know what I'm saying? She gonna most likely win that governor suit, though. I'm telling you.
I hope not. I don't know.
You don't want her to win?
I don't want her to win. No, she should just stay home with her children.
Wow.
I love the Huckabees.
Right.
I loved how she defended Trump, but we got to stop having females at the front being the spokesman for these presidents and stuff. It's so kiss up. It's just a turnoff, you know?
I noticed how Biden got, he don't have many men.
Yeah.
He has mostly women.
Yep.
Notice that?
Because he's a simp.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I agree. Hey, he couldn't even remember the Secretary of Defense name. You heard about that one?
Yeah, I did hear that. I played that at the tail end of my show yesterday. Lloyd Austin, Secretary of Defense, who was an affirmative action pick because he kisses up to blacks and females. And everybody knows it. What a shame.
You know, it's how the liberals do, James. They make it seem like they make stuff appear that's not actually there. Like, for example, I was at our union meeting yesterday, and the first thing the liberals brought up, voter suppression. We like say, okay, where's voter suppression? Look, I'm 52 years old.
Yeah.
I never had no problem going to the polls voting.
Yeah.
There ain't been no problem. If I need an absentee ballot, they got it to me as fast as they can get it. And, you know, everywhere I went, then most places you go to, James, most of them have black poll workers.
I know. If anything, that makes me nervous about shenanigans.
Absolutely.
Rick, I got to wrap up. Appreciate you, man. We'll talk again. Take care. Have a good one.
Man, you too, Jay. Love y'all. Be blessed. Bye-bye.
All right. Congratulations to Based AF, Based America First. I got to wrap up. And Misty Loca, Ricky Ritardo, and Severio Jones, BubsLove.com. And congratulations to all of you guys past, Peter from Periscope, Shaggy Boy, Based America First, Fabriets, Triple Baconator, Misty Loca, Vaga, Ragnar0321. Thank you to the top supporters on Trovo as well. I just got to make sure I do the salutes. Appreciate you. Cobra Koi 99, Noah's Ark, Kansas, Ragnar0321 on both platforms. Impressive. Not a boomer. Or if he is, he's a capable boomer. Fabriets, also, Cheesehead69, Brandon M, Dark Side of the Bear, what? Based America First, Based_AF, says, yes, treasure chest. Indeed. And also, Alvin from New Zealand says, where is my favorite caller? Oh! He's probably jumping right now. Need my daily dose of hola, buenos dias. No Earl today. That's okay. Maze and Tony. Maze wanted to comment about Israel. Call me tomorrow, Maze, if you can. Tony from California wanted to talk about a woman in Ohio who apparently killed her son. Must be a white woman, otherwise Tony wouldn't know about it. So we'll talk tomorrow, guys, or whenever you can. Appreciate you. TheHakeReport.com for my stuff. RebuildingTheMan.com/church for the Sunday service throwback happening today, 4 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. This is the last week of Standard Time. Daylight time starts Sunday morning, guys. Get ready to spring forward. All right, take care.
Wow.